These are the Charles Perry Stalker podcasts, and it's the 10th of September 2023. So there's a thing that's been going on since forever, for 10 years now, that if Charles Perry contacts me, invades my privacy, causes a loss or a problem for me, or makes me broke, we get a lot of inside information on his criminal activity, and for him to continue to do what provokes that, surprise the hell out of a competing criminal organization who is interested in taking over his business, criminal business, not the sex crimes part. He wants to break that up. It's probably pretty much the same as any other business, except there might be some, there's a lot, racketeering shit. So he says to my guy, Mr. Perry cannot control himself, which is exactly why I don't really like to do the sex crimes industry, because it attracts the perverts and they can't think straight. So they make these decisions that are based on their addiction, and they're bad decisions every time. So I'm looking at this, I'm looking at the numbers, I'm looking at how much money they've spent trying to cover up what they're doing, and it ends up in the wrong hands, which you don't want. You really don't want sensitive information like this ending up in the wrong hands. And you guys have it, and that's clearly the wrong hands. She has it. It devalues them every time you get intel, and it devalues them that they've gone into court and claimed to be the victims of harassment, and that their feelings are hurt, that she called them a pussy. That's what they are. I mean, in this industry, that doesn't play. So this looks like an easy takeover to me. They're spending millions of dollars covering up something that buys you guys intel like that. She wasn't supposed to know there was an affidavit or a forged marriage license, or that she was sold to those guys in Houston. She wasn't supposed to know that Mike Neely was drugged. We said that before anybody else said it. We had that to the Florida State's attorney before they took depositions in May that confirmed he was indeed drugged. He was treated with Narcan. He was dying. He was in respiratory distress, and he was unconscious. He was not found with any kind of injury to his head for being in a fight. He was found to have not a mark on him except a red swollen right hand, which was red and swollen because it has an IV in it. I'm getting that information from photographs and the arrest report. All of that is actually right here. In that video. So if you watch that video, it's on that page. You can see this is information that Mr. Perry paid a lot of money to cover up that got in our hands. What you don't want is sensitive information like that getting into the wrong hands. And every time he does this stuff to Cindy, he gets caught. Point out for me the marks on him that look like he was in a fight. He's in jail right now for beating someone to death. This was the next morning. Does that look like he was beat, like he was in a fight? No, it doesn't. There's the arrest report right there. It said he had a red swollen right hand. Chief Miller's head was beat back and forth so hard. He died of internal decapitation. The ME, the medical examiner, said it was like he was in a car crash. Look at the guy who's accused of doing it. Not a mark on him. This is my son. His name is Dennis Ortiz. That's his Snapchat or Instagram or something. He got hit 3 times and everybody went home safe and sound. Nobody died. Nobody was really hurt bad. But you can tell he was in a fight. Does he look like he was in a fight? Okay, so we got that, Mr. Perry, because you're hurting people and everybody's sick and tired of it. You ask me every day. This morning he's asking me, did your family leak? Did Jim leak? Which Jim? I know about 5. Are you talking about David Robertson's attorney? Do you want me to be destitute so that I lie for you? Did you go around telling everybody I'm going to have her eating out a dumpster until she lies for me? Is that what you said? It's either true or it's not. I sold her to a guy in Houston, and I want my money. And if she doesn't lie for me and go to Houston with me so that I can deliver and get my money, I'll make her destitute. She's going to be broke until she does what I tell her. Did you say that to people? Because the guys that told me Mike Neely was drugged, before anybody else had that information, sir, said that you did say that. You have not said it to my face. Sometimes he'll type stuff in my phone like, is your family a leak or Jim a leak? Do you know we don't ever ask that? We never ask about leaks. You realize that we are getting the information, we are getting the help, because people are sick and tired of what you're doing to me. And you keep doing it. And now you got a competing mafia organization ready to take you over. I'm going to get his money and put it in my wallet, and then I'll give Cindy her part. Our guys were like, it's illegal, so she can't take it, but that's a very nice thing to say. He said every time he gets sensitive information into your hands, because he will not leave her alone, then he devalues himself and his organization and his associates, and he adds value to you. This is worth something. It's worth a lot. You have it. And you really, if you're smart, and you're not just a sex pervert who can't control himself, you really don't want this in the wrong hands. And in an organization like ours, and you have it, that's the wrong hands. He knows that when he does the crime to her, that's what happens. Yep, every day for 10 years. And he does it anyway. And he said that's because he's a sex pervert and he can't control himself. He has no respect and no dignity. What kind of man humiliates himself like that? To no avail and to his detriment. Every day for 10 years. He has no respect. He has no respect. He devalues his own organization, he devalues himself, and he devalues his associates, and he humiliates everybody, not just himself. My guy goes, she called him a pussy, and he actually took that to court. And the guy goes, that's exactly what he is then. He's a pussy. What's he going to do, sue me? Is he going to sue me? I'm fixing to take his organization and blindside him and take it apart and get rid of the crap that attracts the perverts who can't control themselves and ruin businesses and devalue everybody and everything. And I'm going to take the other part, and I'm going to make money with it and run it right, and not just throw money to get stuff like that. Every time you do something to me, contact me. Every minute my privacy is invaded. Every day that I'm broke. Every day that Mike's in jail. Nothing's happened, sir, but we get more of this. Your inside information that you really don't want in the wrong hands. So you decided to fuck with my school. I've told this already a bazillion times, but I'm going to tell it one more time. I'm in my 4th year. I've got like 6 courses left. I'm in mental health crisis management or something class, right during the storm in Oklahoma where it knocked out all the power in Tulsa. The whole town's we had no electricity for a week, and for a little bit there was only like 3 places open for gas, and needless to say, those 3 places ran out of gas pretty quickly. So I got to do online, so I can't charge my phone or my computer. You can charge it in your car, but everybody's out of gas, so you got to be careful in doing that, because you need to kind of ration your gas for other things too. And so I had some late assignments. All of this time, I've told my professors, I have a man who's stalking me. He's sold me, and he's trying to coerce me into being delivered. He's made me be home. He's got me kicked out of my home repeatedly. He's tried to take my car repeatedly. Half the time, I'm not even able to eat. So he does these things. It takes up a lot of my time. I still, during all that, have a 3.6 grade average. Most of the time, I was on the dean's list. Mr. Perry found out I was on the dean's list and decided he was going to try to make me fail. Remember, the traffickers want to completely degrade anything good in the victim's life, so they become servitude. They feel like they don't have a choice. There's no food, there's no bath, there's no shelter. So our guys are going to charge you, Mr. Perry. Why do you think we're getting this? I mean, we've told you why we're getting this information. I want you to tell Judge what's her name, Parker, and Judge Egan, why is it you think we get this information? How do I know you've involved Judge Parker? How do I know you've involved Judge Egan? How do I know you went duck hunting with Judge Cummings? How do I know Judge Morrissey was called while you guys hacked me and watched me researching a 12-1031 and told Cindy Ortiz is about to file a 12-1031? Here's what she's researching. We're sitting here, hacked her, watching her research. And Morrissey said, okay, so then I'll have to do a little better then in denying her then because it's frowned upon. My guy says, oh, here we go again. Just wait, you got 2 years. Wait the clock out. Let them do all the stuff they want to do. And then you got more. You're going to have even more claims against these men for fraud. And whatever you can't get done in your attempts in civil court for remedy, we've got it all here. When we make arrest, we'll go in and file motions to vacate on everything because it's fraud, criminal fraud. They're all going to jail. That's what we're going to do with this. Now, will you go ahead and tell Judge Parker and Judge Egan why you think we are getting this? Because clearly when we tell you why, you are not believing that, and you've made up some other reason. Why did we find out Mike was drugged? Because we said it in March 2020. Here to the Florida State's Attorney, I said it in January, I said it again in February, I said it again in March. Okay? And he was. In May, they confirmed that information. How did I get that, and why did we get it, Mr. Perry? Are you retaliating against me? So I assert my equal right to protection of the law against gender discrimination and misogyny in the application of Title 18 of the United States Code 1512 and 1513 and any state law too. Are you retaliating, Mr. Perry? Look at that. I know you're a witness. I'm going to tamper with you anyway. How did you know Mike had to be begged to go or coaxed to go to Pensacola? Now you're trying to do it to me. I'm going to have you eating out of a dumpster. You can sleep under a bridge. Because I'm losing millions when I don't deliver you. How much am I worth when I'm there? See, to the police, that every time you get really, really mean to me, we get more of these, sir, than ever before in your life. I'm worth a lot. And for the long-term results that we're getting and that we will get, it's worth it to me. It's going to suck for a little while. But then you're in jail, and there's no more problems. There's no more hacking and voyeurism. There's no more pervert Perry can't control himself and continue to do the same thing that got the same results. We got more intel. Millions of dollars bought us intel. You meant for it to cover everything up, and it didn't. It bought us intel. You have nothing else to show for what you've done. Are you trying to make me destitute to coerce me to lie? Are you trying to make me destitute, Mr. Perry, at all? Are you trying to make me destitute to traffic me? Answer that for the court now. What is it you think we're doing with this? Why are you in Oklahoma? How did you meet my family? So this morning we get one in. The guy goes, it's a good thing she didn't go to the club this weekend. They had something really, really, really mean planned to do to her. Like, I am sick and tired of that. Why are they doing this shit to her constantly? How does she function? So with my school, we've got recordings of them talking about deadlines on a delivery in the human trafficking. They sold me. They have to have me delivered to Houston by XYZ date. Did you sell me or not? Are you waiting for money in the sale of a person or not? Answer that for the court right now. Yes or no? Okay? I had some homework late because we have an electric storm, plus I'm going through being sold, destitution, Mr. Perry trying to make me homeless, deprivation of food and shelter with intent to coerce, interference with commerce with intent to coerce, interference with contracts with intent to coerce, and grand larceny with intent to coerce. There's a tabulated total that the competing mafia guy was shown that we have. This is how much he owes her. This is how much he's taken from her. Tangible injury right here. Look at this. It's all detailed out. It's all tabulated. We're all ready for testimony. Okay? So this guy says, so my professor, I'm telling her, here's what's going on. I'm sending her pictures of the storm, blah, blah, blah. She's like, okay, it's fine. Just get it in as soon as you can. And at the latest, it has to be in by this date, or there's nothing I can do. I got it in by that date. She gave me an F because they also have Mr. Perry recorded telling her, fail her. No other professor has not accommodated my late assignments. If they're late, here's what's going on in my life. I have late assignments sometimes. Can you accommodate that? Absolutely. Most of those guys are cops. This one is a mental health professional teaching us how to help people in crisis. Be accommodating. I didn't just have somebody trying to make me homeless, somebody trying to make me destitute, trying to coerce a lie. I also had a storm. So it was even more burden on me during that time period than in every other class where the professors gave accommodations for late assignments. What that did, though, is it delayed and reduced the amount of my school loan. So I asked the school about it. I'm like, there's a complete deviation from all professors. This is crisis management, where you're teaching people how to handle someone in crisis. And I would think the accommodation for a late assignment would be more so in this class than any other class, and it's not. She failed me because she just wouldn't look at my paper. Wouldn't look at it. Didn't grade it, nothing. Fuck you. That's what she said. And they denied it. Nope, we're not talking to Mr. Perry. And you could get kicked out for saying that. My prosecutor says, we have the recording of Mr. Perry talking to this woman. We have it. I'm glad they said something. I'm glad they did that to you. I'm going to use it against all of them in a court of law. Because here's what's going to happen. I can't do anything with nothing. Had they said nothing, there's nothing I could do. That's not what they did. They said something. They denied it. This involves federal funds. There's a lot I can do right there. A whole lot I can do. And it corresponds with the date of delivery. Gotta make her broke, so she'll be complicit in delivering a human person for trafficking. So we can all get our money and make her lie and put this to bed. Right? Is that true or not, Mr. Perry? Tell Judge Parker, tell Judge Egan. Is that true or not? Then we hear Judge Parker issued an order for a raid at Sensations for when Cindy goes back. We're having a hard time on explaining how we would know she's back. Legitimately. Then somebody said, well, Judge Parker has no jurisdiction over a club in Inola, Oklahoma. She's a judge in Lubbock, Texas. And Charles and Dave said, doesn't matter. Doesn't have to be legal. All you need to do is tell everybody there's a judge who ordered a raid. You don't have to tell them who. Wow, Judge Parker, were you aware of that? Just lie. Just lie. And then we have this conversation. Good thing she didn't go to the club this weekend, because they were gonna do something really mean. They were gonna take her car, tow her car. As soon as she gets there, they were gonna make her get fired. She has to walk back to Tulsa from Inola. Nobody give her a ride. Okay? Don't give her a ride. Make sure she's broke and has no money to buy an Uber. And we're gonna make sure her family's there to berate her. We've told her family, you must berate her. You must make her feel punished. You must make her feel excluded. So Mr. Perry's asking me today, did your family tell? People are asking, maybe her family leaked. They didn't want to do that to her. I'm not told who the leaks are. I'm really not. I have no idea. But I know this. I will never help you ruin me. The fact that you would even ask gets us even more intel, because it is outrageous. Absolutely outrageous that you have the nerve. So now you've got our guys, police, getting all this, but you tell us why you think we're getting it. When we quote you every fucking day because you have some horrible thing planned to do to me in Oklahoma, where I live. I moved 2 times to get away from you. I completely changed my life. One of my friends said, we knew Cindy when she was, working in politics. in Nevada when she was a business owner in Nevada. And I'm going to tell you one thing, she will not do canned food guy. And Saeed, she was with Saeed 24/7. She cared about, they cared about each other. And Saeed would never allow her to sleep in her car and not eat. There's no way. Well, it's about economy. No, she said, I don't think so. I think that he's doing exactly what she says, and that's abusive. And Cynthia will not be in that kind of a thing. It's not going to happen. See, she's fighting, just like I know her to do, fighting with everything she's got against you. She will fight for what she wants, so she doesn't want you. And that's why. Because Saeed would never have done that to her. In fact, he started a business for her and made sure she had money. He made sure she had money. She made sure she made her own money. And she never missed a meal. She had a nice place to live. And the first thing he did was get her a nicer car. So, not take her car away. Make her go be trafficked. I'm going to make money off your body against your will. For that, you've done that. You watch me in the privacy of my home, and it's rape and it's vulgar. And you do it against my will. And you have an invoice in the amount of $1,000 a day for doing that. You're being entertained. You're using my body for entertainment, for an imaginary affair, and for a profit, plus $2,000 a day for doing it against my will. My guy tells the competing mafia guy, this is a is astronomical. How much? And he said, well, I would like to take apart their businesses and pay her. I'll take care of it. And my guy goes, it's illegal money, she can't take it, but the thought is very nice. And he goes, what if it's because it's just an outstanding debt that the business owes? So I guess they're looking into that. But the plan is to take over your business. He said you made yourself weak when you went in to a courtroom and claimed that you were the victim of crime when you got called a pussy. That you made yourself weak, and that you humiliate yourself every time we get one of these, and you continue to do the things to me that you do anyway. What kind of man humiliates himself like that, to no avail and to his detriment? What kind of man does that? Where's the respect? Where's the respect? That doesn't play any. And then he got upset because she called him a pussy. He made himself weak when he did that. I can take that over like this. I'm a businessman. I look at valuations. I look at profit and loss. And he's spending a lot of money trying to cover up something that buys you this, Intel. My guy goes, he's done it every day for 10 years. We've never had one this easy. So it takes as long as it takes. I will say this. When you did the school thing, just like this morning, he was about to do something at that club to her that was horrible. Absolutely horrible, unimaginable. Thank God she didn't go. It would have been not just horrible for her, but for her family too. My family, I never introduced Mr. Perry to my family. I would never have taken him around my family. So how does he know them? They opened the door for you and let you in and shoved me out. Do you really think my family's opinion matters to me at all? It matters as much as yours. Okay? I haven't spoken to them since 2019, really. I did tell them I'm not going to Texas because we kept hearing you tell them you have to tell her that she has to leave Oklahoma and she can't come back. You told my cousin Craig, you told my uncle Corky, you have to tell, I'm going to hide behind your family. I'm that much of a pussy. I'm that much of a coward. I hide behind a phone. I hide behind a computer. And now I'm going to hide behind your family. And I'm going to tell you tell her she has to leave the state of Oklahoma and she can't come back because she's catching my crime too much, and I just don't like that. I'm used to everyone covering it up, and it's different when I do it to her. I'm used to bullying and threatening and harassing and committing, criminal act after criminal act after criminal act to subjugate people to my will. And that's not happening this time. She'll eat out of a dumpster. She'll sleep in her car. And we don't know what to do. And then all of a sudden, there's stuff coming out we never wanted anyone to know. How many people know about your compound in Houston with beveled glass people can't see in or out of, and children being raped so bad they're shitting on the carpet and the place smells like a sewer? Is that true or not? For the court, answer the question, do you know my family? And how? How many times have you been with my family? Did you tell them there's a love life there? Did you have arrangements to make wedding photos to cover up your forged marriage license? The marriage license used to get personal information you do not have any business having? Answer it yes or no. Yes or no. How do you know my family? Do you know them? How long? How many times have you been with them? See, people started wondering about my family. It's 9 years and they're just now figuring out she doesn't like him. They've not seen her with him ever. Said never went to their house by himself. If he went, he was with me. Some of my family, I guess, started questioning that, and some were still thinking maybe you're telling them the truth. Oh yeah, I went on a date with her. He didn't go on a date with me. He watched me in my house. He watched me one night while I was at home, in the privacy of my home, and called that a date, like John Hinckley Jr. No different. Because his imaginary relationship is with himself. It's not with me. I don't like him. It's not two ways. He's rejected. And the more he does this crime to me, stalking, voyeurism, hacking, cloning, calling people he has no business calling. Did you tell the landlord make her come up with money at the beginning of the day instead of at the end of the night? And by the way, tonight we're going to make sure she can't make any, so kick her out. This is another one. You're trying to do this again. Interference with commerce with intent to coerce. You will be charged with Lucius, Calvin, Betancourt, Charles, and Dave. Every time you do that. Okay? Why are we getting this, Charles? You tell the court why you think we're getting it. Okay? See, here's the thing. Nobody's doing anything to you. You're getting caught doing things to me. So if you don't like getting caught, stop doing things to me. The guys who are helping me, we found out, they get you guys talking about Natalie Holloway. And they're like, wow, everybody thought Natalie Holloway was dead. Put something out about us doing an extraction. So we did. You know what else we did? Put that on the court docket. He tells your competing mafia guy, this sensitive information that you really don't want everybody else having is public record now. It's on the docket. And about 4 or 5 court cases. Anyone in law enforcement from anywhere can see it now and forever. And so can you. And he goes, what? What do you mean? And he goes, we get the intel. She types it up and sends it to them in an email. They take it into court and claim it's harassment. Now, that intel that is sensitive, that they don't want in the wrong hands, is on the court docket. Anybody can look at it. He goes, oh my gosh. That's brilliant. Your value is even more. So is hers. And theirs just went, shh. Nosedive. Nosedive. Millions of dollars that you spent for a cover-up bought us that, sir. You got no date. You got no love life. Not that's real. You have a pretend one in your head, but I've never been with you. I don't like you. You make my skin crawl. All my skin crawl. See this right here? Millions of dollars that you used to buy a cover-up bought us that right there. I'm not supposed to know Judy Parker's involved or Judge Egan. Or that Mr. Powell is trying to get me served with a restraining order. First, when she goes to the club, tow the car. Then get her fired. Then make her walk back to Tulsa. And then have her family berate her and give her that restraining order so she can't tell anybody what we've just done to her. Is that what your plan was last night? And I just didn't go. Look at that. How much money did it cost me that I couldn't go to work because you were going to do that? In Oklahoma where I work. In Oklahoma where I live. This is stalking. This is harassment. A pattern of harassment. A pattern of harassment. A pattern of harassment. You're getting caught, that's it. No one's doing anything to you. Somebody said that. I think Charles Perry's full of shit. Because here's the thing. He was harassing Cynthia in Lubbock, so she went home to her family. And so why is he in Oklahoma away from his family, claiming to be a victim of harassment? He's a victim of something different every week. He goes, every time I talk to Charles, he's always in Oklahoma, where he doesn't live, and Cindy does not want him. And he's always the victim of something. And we're all like, well, get your ass back to Lubbock, where you live, with your family. or shut up about being a victim, because we think you're not. We think you're provoking. We think you're antagonizing. We think you're going around pissing everybody off and getting caught is what you're doing. We think you're making a fool of yourself is what you're doing. So we don't believe a word you say. But tell Judge Judy, tell Judge Egan, and we'll see what they think. Nobody invited you to Oklahoma. I didn't introduce you to my family. I came here to get away from you. It was the second time I moved. So why are you in Oklahoma? Explain for the courts. Why are you here, and what are you doing all day? Tell the judge, what do you do with your time all fucking day? Okay? You're contacting me against my will. You're invading my privacy against my will. And you're making me broke against my will. And you're selling me against my will. And you get caught when you do it to me. We got code words, we got names. Those are your code words. Sensitive information you don't really want in the wrong hands. Right, he paid millions to cover it up. We got it. Not only that, but it's on the court dockets. A lot of this stuff. Because we emailed it to him. Cindy typed it up and emailed it to him. And then they went into court and said, we're being harassed, look. So you can just, all you have to do is go look at the court docket and you can read it all. He's like, wow. Definitely want to take apart this organization. Definitely want to take, their money's going right in my wallet. That's all there is to it. This is just stupid. This is just stupid. And what kind of man humiliates himself complaining that he's got called a pussy? I'm going to call him a pussy. He's going to sue me too? Yeah. Have her family berate her. Have her family. Maybe it's her family that told. Maybe it's her family that told. Then we got this yesterday. This was insane. But they hacked my Dasher app. We've said that, right? So I get that. Richard Cowart. We're all like, oh, I forgot. What the hell is that? The guy's at a nursing home. We're like, what the fuck is that? So come to find out what it is David Robertson wanted Richard to go ahead and file the murder charges against me that he was trying to do the frame-up on, where they had to alter the appearance of the girl that actually did it. Richard's saying I can't put her at the crime scene at all because all she does is sleep and work and do school. You ran all her friends off. You ran all her family off. And you've told everybody they're not allowed to speak to her. You're telling her family we're dating, but don't talk to her. I forbid you to talk to her. Because you didn't want them checking with her to see if there was ever an actual date. You went home and watched her in the privacy of her home on your computer is what you did. That's not a date. It's not mutual. So what happened is, and my friend's like, yeah, that's not Cindy. She will never be in a thing like that. There's no way. And for her to go from the professional woman that she was to a stripper and a DoorDasher, he's doing something to her. He did something to her. There's no way that's not possible unless he did something to her. Yeah, he did. He did a lot. He's caused a lot of tangible injury. That number that he showed your competing mafia guy is astronomical, and it is injury that will be used in your criminal case. Why are we getting this stuff? This is hacking. They hacked my DoorDash app. They use it to take pictures of me. They use it to get me in a place where they can have me pulled over and ticketed. They use it to harass, stalk, whatever. It's a severe invasion of my privacy. It's sickening. People are sick of this. But David Robertson was telling Richard, Richard's like, I can't put her at the scene. I don't think she's even never been there. And if you have to make her, here's the funny thing, is you guys want to make her tan so that her skin is as dark as the girl that really did it, her doppelganger. And, but you make sure she doesn't have any money so she can't tan. And then when she does have the money to pay the gym, and she can tan at the gym, you start talking about taking her car when she goes to the gym. So now she won't go to the gym. She hears everything y'all say. All you talked about for weeks is when she goes to the gym, let's take her car away from her. When she goes to the club, take her car away from her. We got to do a false arrest and smear her and ruin her reputation because she's right on the money. She's dead on. She's getting it right. Otherwise, why would we attack her like this? Right? Richard didn't do this. David Robertson did this, and it's stupid as fuck. We didn't think it was funny. We thought it was weirdo. More weirdo from Charles and Dave. But he's calling Richard a coward for not filing a knowingly false charge against me. Richard knows I didn't do it. Everybody knows I didn't do it. Because you know what? You guys get recorded talking about it all the time. We're not saying it as an afterthought to explain something away. We get this information beforehand to use as malicious aforethought, criminal intent, and premeditation. fraud upon a court after fraud upon a court after fraud upon a court after fraud upon a court, Mr. Perry. When you do the crime to me, you get caught. When you touch the hot stove, you get burned. And every day you get up and do it all over again. And then we type up what you say all day long, all over again. Okay? Now you got criminal organizations, you're competing, your competitors, going, I think he is a pussy. Is he going to sue me? Because what kind of man humiliates himself like that? To no avail and to his detriment. Not only himself, but his family and his associates. You can't respect that. I don't respect that. So, did you sell me? To who did you sell me? Tell the court. How do I know Judge Parker's involved? How did I know that, oh, and then he said, we've talked to Paul about getting her back out there waitressing, but Viviana's back. So, Viviana rules everything. And so Cindy has no chance of that. So just for the record, they said that. Because I said, I probably won't go back unless I'm waitressing. You insisted that I go back only on the pole. And then I haven't been back at all. And then I was supposed to go this weekend. You guys decided I was supposed to go this weekend. Because I didn't say anything about going this weekend, did I? No, I didn't. So you decided that I should go this weekend. And you had all that planned. And I didn't go. She gets there, take that car away from her. First it was arrest her. Off the stage. Embarrass her. Humiliate her. All off the stage. But make sure the other girls can see it. So that they stop. If they're leaking, they stop. Is Viviana back at the club? See, I haven't talked to anybody, so the only way I would know is police recordings of you. Is she back? Is she waitressing? Then he said, she had quit. I think she has a problem with narcolepsy, so she quit the job that she was working at because of the narcolepsy was causing a problem and went back to the club, where she still has narcolepsy. Then you wanted me, then it was, oh, let's change it from off the stage to get her in the parking lot so she can't go in and get tipped off by her coworkers. And then it was set her down, make her sign the lie, the affidavit lie. She's not supposed to know about the affidavit, but she does. Because when you do the crime to me, you get caught. We get information like that beforehand, not after. You touch that stove, you get burned. And then we're like, well, I told you so, I did say. You're proving us out. You're retaliating. So, anyways, set her down, make her sign this lie, then make her pose for the pictures for this fake wedding to cover up my forgery, and then ship her off to Houston. And if she refuses to do what we tell her, go tell her family, oh, she got herself all jammed up, and I'm trying to help her, and she just won't let me, so there's nothing I could do. Yeah, recording after recording after recording after recording after recording after recording after recording. Is it true or not? Tell us now. Tell Judge Parker now. Tell Judge Egan now. Is it true or not? Okay? And I guess Matt Powell and Mr. Quince Wheeler want me in a place where I'm living and working and going on a schedule. And you guys don't like that. They want to know where I am. You guys want me just, wandering around like some sort of vagrant. Make her destitute until she lies for us. Duly noted for the record. Duly noted for the record. And now it's on the court docket too. You're going to put all that stuff on the court docket for tomorrow? And tell everybody how harassed you are? Okay. See, if this is the case where you got people's names coming up like this, and you can also make it where I don't get any orders at all and I'm broke. And I can't pay my bills. Interference with commerce with intent to coerce. Interference with contracts with intent to coerce. Grand larceny with intent to coerce. How big is that number, Charles? And deprivation of food and shelter with intent to coerce. What opened this case to begin with was human rights violations. You're pissing off some people with a lot of power. Pissing off a lot of people, some people with a lot of power. Okay? So, again, we typed up what Mr. Perry said all fucking day. And if you did that to my family, wow. Wow. Scripts and role-playing. Did you have them do the scripts and the role-playing? Berating me? Yeah. Okay. Are we going to do Groundhog again, Groundhog Day again tomorrow? You cause problems for me, you get caught. You cause problems for me, you get caught. Sensitive information that you don't want getting in the wrong hands, it gets into the wrong hands. Again, today. You did it all day today. Same old, same old. Okay. So we have this here. We documented this fucking false murder charge. They found a girl that looks similar to me, but I guess she's younger, quite a bit younger, quite a bit heavier, the witnesses said. See, we heard the witnesses too. We have that information too. Quite a bit heavier than Cynthia. Hair's more of a yellow blonde. Cynthia's more of a white blonde. I also have some very distinctive marks on my face, and I didn't go to the storage unit where you planted evidence. Ever. My ex-husband set that up. He took everything to the storage unit. And then when you had me kicked out of my hotel the last time you did this to me, everything I owned, including the keys and paperwork to that storage unit, was in there. I don't have it. I didn't even know where it was. I didn't even know. We heard Calvin, though, constantly, can't we get it to her storage unit? Can't we get it to her storage unit? Can't we get it to... I really need to go to the storage unit. Calvin. Constantly. Recorded. Because people hate him. He's mean. People don't like mean. Kindness brings blessings. Cruelty brings downfall. You get told on. We get information. Been that way every day for 10 years. Natalie Holloway might be at that compound. Should we move her? You said? We've changed her name. She doesn't go by Natalie Holloway and hasn't for years. Is she going to remember who she is? If they go in to try to extract her. I don't know. Go ask her. Ask Judge Parker to order a raid or something. Scare everybody just for the hell of it. Just because she can. Alright. Kids are shitting on the floor. Kids are shitting on the floor because they're getting raped. You know, that's not normal. The whole place stinks. And Judy Parker signs an order to a raid at a strip club in Oklahoma far outside her jurisdiction. Talk about corruption. Is that true or not? Tell us, is it true or not? I can do a lot with the denial. I can't do anything with nothing. But our guy's like, you wanted this sensitive information? It's not just for us to look at. It's not just, you can look at it. Anybody can look at it. He goes, how the hell did you pull that off? Cindy types it up in an email, sends it to him. They are filing it. They can't argue for suppression now. They filed it. She sent it to them. They took it into court and said, we're being harassed. Look at all these emails. They filed it as evidence. Now anybody can look at it to see what they've been, all the sensitive information we get before to prove malicious intent. I'm sorry, criminal intent, malicious aforethought, and premeditation. The McNamara email, the Kirkendall email, the Mike was drugged email. Right? The raid at the club email, get her shoe print email. We need her to go to the storage unit email. Get her back on that Poland on a schedule email. Pull her over emails. Bunches of them. There's a list of those. And then a list of pullovers. All of that stuff is on the docket for you to read. Anybody can read it. They put it on there. Now they can't argue for suppression. And you can look at their sensitive information that got into wrong hands. There it is. Objectives are met. We document all that stuff on here. And here's my disclaimer. You played right into it. When you do the crime to me, everything's different. But it's the same every time you do it. There you go. Why can't we get her to go to the storage unit? Well, I guess somebody talked about that last night. They wanted her to go to the storage unit. And he goes, and she wouldn't go? No. They planted evidence and she found out. My guess is that's why she didn't go. She said she's got distinctive marks on her face. It's different than the doppelganger. Okay, and have you heard from the doppelganger? Has she said anything like that? Cindy did. So Cindy didn't do it. We want her to tan so her skin color matches the girl that did it. That way we can say Cindy did it. But make sure she has no money to go tan. Or when she gets a gym membership she can afford. And they can tan there. Start talking about taking her car when she gets to the gym. Then she won't go to the gym. Now there's no tan. Yeah, we need access to her at that club. And she was waitressing and they ran her off. They threatened her and ran her off. Right? Okay. That's what cops are supposed to do for people like me. That TPD. Thank God I have cops from somewhere else helping me. And the use of technology to stalk, they hack and they keep your money. They take your money. Try to make you broke until you lie. which means I'm telling the truth now. But go ahead and tell Judge Parker everything that I've said in this podcast. Confirm it or deny it. Oh, and there was another one about rat poison. Mr. Perry goes, oh, that arsenic that she's asking about, did you give me arsenic? And David Robertson texted her back, yes. And there was no proper collection of her blood to confirm that or rule it out. She took rat poison, and the guy goes, well, first of all, can you prove that? What makes you think she took rat poison? How do you know? The thing is I don't think she did. I think you're making that up. I think it's bullshit. More bullshit from a guy who's bullshitted and bullshitted and bullshitted and bullshitted. Because you made sure she didn't get tested, and if you really thought she drank rat poison, then you would have made sure she got tested to prove that. Instead, you made sure she wasn't tested, you obstructed justice, and she didn't get her test, and then you destroyed her evidence. And you did the same thing to Mike Mealy. Right? It's not just Brady violations, it's intentional concealment of a material fact from the deciding body that could change the outcome. Yet they had the material fact not been concealed. And it's the other thing that makes it perjury is when a person has a duty to disclose it to that deciding body. Like Cindy knew Mike was drugged months before. Okay, when you have a question on your leaks, like you asked me about leaks all day today, and I'll remind you, you have leaks, we don't. We're getting the help with the information, you're not, because people hate you, you're mean, they want you to stop. Everybody's sick of this. You're in a state where you don't live, and nobody invited you here, and you've ripped up the lives of a whole lot of people. So, the results of that are, we get the help, not you. People hate your guts. Everybody hates your guts. We never ask about leaks, we don't have them, you have them. You're getting caught more than you've ever been caught in your life when you do the crime to me. And you guys get up and go, we're going to do it anyways. And our guys are like, it's so fucking easy, it's not even fair as long as she can handle it. As long as she can handle it. Did one of you guys ask somebody at Homeland Security, should we get a patrol officer to go tell her that she can't talk about the stuff we're doing to her? And he said, I wouldn't do that if I were you, because the stuff she's doing is some pretty high-level investigations work, and it tends to piss them off when you send a local cop over there. I mean, you can do it, but it's not going to go like you want it to. And why are you using taxpayer resources for your personal financial gain? Explain that for the courts, okay? Does Judge Parker care? Does she care about those little kids that shit the carpet because they're getting raped? Does she care about the Holloway family? Does she care about me? My family's done what they've done, okay? They can say whatever they want to me. It's not going to matter. I listen to the guys that give me the intel and no one else, because they've proven time and time and time again that they have my best interests at heart, that they're going to be there to protect me, that I'm part of their team. We're all working together for the same objective, and that is relieve suffering caused by your crime. We're very good at what we do. We're doing stuff you guys have not seen in your life. Winnie pesters her and takes her money. Things don't go well for us. Things don't work out for us. And Charles goes, do it more. Do it more. And now you got competing mafia guys going, oh my God, what the fuck? Oh my God, wow, that's not good business sense. That's not even kind of big. I'll do it anyway. Okay, wow. What kind of man humiliates himself like that? And his associates. Wow. That's an easy takeover. What else? Yesterday, Charles also asked me about Todd Vickery. You know, I know who Todd Vickery is. Did you know? I've known since 2016, but I don't talk about it much because it's none of your business, is it? Well, how do you know? Because the allegations are stalking, hacking, voyeurism, perjury, fraud, human trafficking. Mr. Perry, you contacted me and I just asked you not to. When you contact me, we always get more. I don't care what you think. Nobody understands why you think I care what you think. Didn't ask you, did I? No, I did not. We're all sick of you and what you think. I moved 2 times not to ever again have to hear what you think. I went to a lot of trouble to completely change my life so that I never again had to hear what you think. We're all sick of you. We get the help with the information because of it. You get told on because everybody's sick of you. Okay? It's just like that. I'm not told who leaks are. I'm not told what they get from a wiretap some or what they get from a leak or I don't care. It's a need to know, and I don't need to know that, do I? All right. I'm sorry that my family opened their home, welcomed you in to their home and their lives, and shoved me out. They don't have any influence over me anymore. Okay? I think somebody comes with her, somebody was upset about that. Now I have no one to get to her. I have no access to her at all. You ran everybody off. I don't know where she is. I need to know where she is. I need her to go to the same job and make enough money to pay her bills, and I need her to live in the same place so I know where she is. And you and David run around trying to starve her so she's destitute and we don't know where she is, wandering around Tulsa somewhere. So, thanks for that. I agree with Steve. I'm sorry. I don't care if Steve knows where I am. I don't want you to know where I am. And I would like to stay in the same spot and go to the same job and make enough money to pay my bills. I would love that. I did that all my life until I met you. Yeah, it's just a bad economy. My friend's like, yeah, no, it's not. No, it's not. And even if it was her, the guy that she loved and was actually with and moved to, remember, she's moved twice to get away from you. Never would have let that happen. There's no way. So anybody that thinks that this is about a love life is off your nut. You have to look at what people do, not what they say. Mr. Perry has threatened me starvation for years. I've sold you. You're going to go be delivered. You're going to lie, or you'll starve until you do. And we're all like, well, I told you so. He carried out another threat. That's what he did. So, there's that.
Don't stalking me. Please, I can't live here anymore because you stalk me. That's why leave me alone.
I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes.
No, 0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk to you. I don't ever want to hear your voice to you. Please, God bless you, but please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Please stop following me.
You won't call the cops.
Stop stalking me. Please, I can't live here anymore because you stalk me. That's why.
Okay, you've threatened me with false arrest since the day I got home from the first one that you did. And this murder thing is no different. I don't kill anybody. I don't kill people. I've never been to the crime scene. I didn't go to my storage unit. We know that you have somebody that looks similar to me that did it. Quite a bit heavier. Darker skin. Hair's more blonde than mine. Mine's more of a white blonde. Hers is more of a blonde blonde. You've tried to get her to dye her hair the same color as mine, and you've tried to get me to tan so my skin looks darker. Right? I didn't do it. Richard said I don't think she's ever been to the crime scene, and we don't even have people that she hangs out with that we could ask, because you ran them all off. So, but you did tell everybody that you were going to do the same thing to me you did to Mike Neely. Okay, so remember how many times we've gone, well, I told you so, well, I did say. We kept telling people. McNamara is one of those times, Mr. Perry. Actually, let's look at it real quick. Okay, have to file a police report in the state of Oklahoma if you want to get a protective order. If you're getting death threats of death and false arrest, you need a protective order. This is the text he said. Nobody gave her arsenic and phenobarbital. She took rat poison. Well, first of all, what makes you think that? What evidence do you have to make you believe that? Second of all, why didn't you let her get tested? You obstructed justice. And they did. I filed a police report on the 21st. They have me arrested out of Lubbock. Again, Lubbock overreach. 29th. Just not even a week. And I don't get a call back from the detectives in Tulsa until February 15th. They obstructed justice. She's asking for evidence. We need the evidence to bag it and tag it. That would include a blood test. So, then they dismiss it. And now I'm supposed to just go, oh, okay, thank you. Thanks, guys. I lost my house. The rest of the family was aggravated, I guess, at Craig. Craig, why didn't you sit her down and say, do you like this man or not? And if you don't, we call him, we all call him. And we put on a united front, and we tell him, you don't come around us again. And then this wouldn't have happened, and Dennis wouldn't have lost his house. And had to explain why his mom's mugshot was everywhere. And then a lot of the problems that we've all had because of Charles Perry causing them in Oklahoma where he doesn't live. You're the causation. Proximate cause. You. Intentionally and maliciously, and we got recording after recording after recording to show that. And then you prove it out when you do it. Or sometimes you'll prove it out when you deny it or don't deny it, or say, yeah, you did it. Did you sell me or not? You trying to coerce me or not? You want to make me starve until I lie for you or not? Yes or no? You either are or you're not. Why are you always in Oklahoma? What do you do all day? You got a voyeurism problem or not? You stalking or not? Why are you in Oklahoma? What is the legitimate reason for you to be here? And know my family? How do you know my family? I didn't take you around them. Okay, so here we go. And I had emailed my ex-husband and told him he's threatening me with false arrest in October of 2015, the year before. Told you so. I did say. Alright, so every time we get one of these and I type it up, I didn't get that from Charles. That came from an informant. You're horrifying other people with your terrorizing of me. So glad she didn't go to the club this weekend. They planned something really mean to her. It was going to be really mean. Why did they do this shit to her? I'm so glad she didn't go. I'm sick of watching him doing this to her. So we got the intel and you got nothing. But a lot of questions about who told us. Now you put it on the court docket to, we're claiming you're the victim of harassment. Now anyone can see it. Cops from anywhere can see it. Here's what they were recorded talking about doing to me before they did it. Before they carried out that specific, and it's detailed. It's not vague. Oh, he threatened to hurt me. Nope. Here's how he threatened to hurt me. Here's when he made that threat. And we got it. And then we put it out. We gave it to him. He puts it on the court docket. Now, competing mafia can see it too. And that you claim that you got your little feelings hurt because I called you a pussy for picking on women and children so that you feel tough. And he goes, wow, he made himself weak when he did that. I'm going to call him a pussy too. That's exactly what he is. Is he going to sue me? That doesn't play well in our business. Yeah, okay. Going to frame me for a murder. We said it beforehand, not after. You're altering evidence and altering appearances, and we said it beforehand. And David Richard's not a coward. You can't threaten cops if they won't be your bitch. Okay? I mean, you can, but you have to deal with us. We're the ones catching your crime. We're the ones getting these, David. We're the ones that have your code words. We're the ones that found out Mike Neely was drugged. It wasn't TPD and it wasn't Richard. So, and it's funny you always threaten me behind my back. All of you bitches, the guy said the same thing. Why are they not threatening her to her face if they're a tough guy? That's very interesting. They're too afraid to do it to her face, aren't they? They're hiding behind her family. They're hiding behind people she knows at work. They're hiding behind people they shouldn't know anybody. They shouldn't know. They're denying stalking, aren't they? They're denying invading our privacy, aren't they? They're denying trafficking, aren't they? Then how do they know all these people? Steve Massengale doesn't know who I work with or who my family is. John Steinmetz doesn't. Jason Moore doesn't. Why do you? I told you so. I did say. They said, when you invade her privacy, the longer she's broke, the longer Mike Neely's in jail. The longer every time you contact her, we always get more, because you've been told to stop. That will all be used to do it for you. Okay? The same way we got this email right here. Threatening Richard. Richard Coward, because he won't do a false charge of murder. On my DoorDash, it was a DoorDash customer's name. Wow. That's not weirdo. That's not weirdo at all. So, and he was at a nursing home. Mr. Perry has Huntington's disease. In fact, the guy that told us, he said, Charles Perry doesn't want Cynthia to know that he's got Huntington's disease, and I'm sick and tired of watching him ruin her and terrorize her and torment her. So make sure she finds out. Huntington's disease causes paranoia, delusion, hallucinations, psychosis, and impaired cognitive reasoning. We're not supposed to know about that. The affidavit that you sold me, the Houston compound, the more mean and more cruel you get, the more crap we get. Sensitive information gets into the wrong hands. And then we get it back to you, and you take it to the docket. Now anybody can see it. Perfect. Strategies, objectives, bullying, witness tampering, retaliating. I assert all constitutional rights, especially equal protection of all the laws, due diligence, due process. Yeah, I didn't go to my storage unit. I'm sorry, Calvin.
I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes.
No,
Leave me alone.
0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk to you. I don't ever want to hear your voice to you. Please, God bless you, but please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Please stop following me.
You won't call the cops.
Stop. I don't. Stop stalking me. Please, I can't live here anymore because you stalk me. That's why I
No.
moved.
Just
Leave me alone.
I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes.
No,
Leave me alone.
0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk to you. I don't ever want to hear your voice to you. Please, God bless you, but please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Please stop following me.
You won't call the cops.
Stop. I don't. Stop stalking me. Please.
Stepdad's been raping you.
Leave me alone. Please.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes.
First, let me say that I'm happy that the lady in this video is okay. Second, let me break down what rape culture is. Rape culture is the fact that that man felt that he was entitled to some of this woman's time just because he said, let me talk to you for 2 minutes. Doesn't matter if it's 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes. If she said no, no means no. Rape culture is the comments that she has on her video about how she should have just spoke to him or dressed differently. Rape culture is me taking the heat for calling out other men for their terrible behavior. Rape culture is trying to explain stuff as, oh, it's just locker room talk. No, it's not locker room talk. You should talk the same way wherever you are. We all know that rape is not about sex, it's about power. So for you to force yourself on somebody, even if you're just talking to them, is disgusting.
Stepdad's been raping you.
Leave me alone. Please.
Just talk.
If you want my guys off your back, get the fuck off mine. If you want them out of your privacy, get the hell out of mine. Okay? I'm not to be... He said it in March 2020. Do not invade her privacy again. Do not contact her or her family again. And she'd better not be broke. Get your hands out of her wallet. Or I'm going to come after you. And since that time, look how much information we have. Sensitive information that you didn't want getting into the wrong hands, but it did. We got it. You do it every day. We quote you every day. You're not quoting us. You seem to forget that, Mr. Perry. You act like you have the upper hand. And we're like, but we're not being quoted. You are. You're being told on. We're getting the help. You're getting told on. Everybody's so tired of you and sick of you. You know, just bothering and threatening and harassing and causing one problem after another and catastrophic loss after catastrophic loss after catastrophic loss. We get the help, David Robertson, Calvin, Lucius, not you. We don't have leaks, you do. You're pissing people off. People that have a hell of a lot of power. Now you got a competing mafia organization also watching everything you do.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave me alone.
All you want.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone.
Hey men, leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them. Especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to, but even when they're not. Unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumbass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior, and you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public, it doesn't.
Mr. Perry just asked me, can we talk? No. I moved twice to get away from you, to never again have to hear a word you say. I have completely changed my life. The people that knew me before I met you are appalled at what you've done to my life. They know there's no way that would be the case. I'd be living like I'm living now, were it not for you attempting on purpose, intentionally and maliciously to ruin me. Everyone knows what you're doing, whether they say it to your face or not. We're quoting you, you're not quoting us. We have your code words, you don't have ours. We have your names, you can't name one of my guys. Okay? That's reality. That's what we have in front of us right now. Look at that. You like looking? Look at the results we have. Look at the results you have. We're getting help with information. You're getting told on. You're getting caught. You spent millions of dollars getting us intel. He said Cynthia's privacy is not to be invaded anymore. You do not contact her again. And she had better not be broke and have to ask for help. Get your hands out of her wallet. Respect her, respect the law. We're not asking you to climb Mount Everest here. We're asking you to comply with the law and fuck off and leave her alone. And if you don't do it, we're going to get a whole bunch of information that we can take to court, arrest you, and do it for you. Then we'll see if you think it's cute then. LOL. You chose not to. We've quoted you every day since. We say it, then we show you. You touch a hot stove, you get burned. You do the crime to me, you get caught. Why is that? Why is that? There's a lot of, you have some patrol guy. This guy's like Homeland Security. Somebody at Homeland Security told them. They said, could we have patrol go over there and tell her she can't do this anymore? And he goes, no. First of all, you're going to piss her off. The ones that are trained like she's trained and willing to do what she's willing to do, I'll eat out of a dumpster before I help you. Because it'll get us a lot of intel. It pisses off some of your leaks. Like a motherfucker. What she did with my school gets us the compound information. Tim and his transponder. I'll kidnap her, throw her on my plane, turn the transponder off so they don't know where I took her. And the FAA will ground you for that, sir. And, kids are shitting on the floor in that place because they're getting raped. Natalie Holloway might be there. She doesn't, do you think she'll remember who she is? Should we move her? It's got beveled glass. It's a compound just south of Houston. All of that came from you pissing somebody off of what you did to my school. And I told you, fix it. And you didn't. I have a professor who deviated from all other professors. And the duress was even a whole lot more than normal. It's high now. I still, under the duress of you trying to cause duress intentionally to force me to lie for you and force me to go be trafficked, I still have a 3.6 grade point average. I was on the dean's list until you jammed up my computer and I couldn't even turn stuff in. There is a date that even the professor can't do anything about it. You made sure after that date I couldn't get it turned in. So it caused a drop in my grade. You made me homeless. You've taken car after car after car, wrecked them, had a brick thrown at me trying to kill me, give me arsenic trying to kill me. Both Mike and I are drugged. When we don't die, we end up false in jail. Then you can tell everybody I'm going to do to her what I did to Mike if she doesn't lie and if she doesn't be trafficked. I need that money. I owe those people money. I got a whole list of people that I promised money to. Didn't you? Is Mike's husband on that list? Prove he is or not. Okay? If I don't hear from him this week, then he's on the list. If I do hear from him this week, then he's not. Okay? Now, Judge Parker and Judge Egan explain that to them. Okay? Confirm or deny. I can't do anything with nothing, but I can do a lot with even a denial. Especially when it involves money. The exchanging of money for legal purposes or illegal purposes. You wanted to go claim to be the victim of harassment. Now your sensitive information that got in the wrong hands is on the docket for your competing mafia to see, your competing criminal organizations to see. You don't think it's funny that you humiliate yourself the way you do. I'm not into you. I don't like you. Okay? It's a one-way street. It's all in your head. It's not in mine. It's never been in mine. You're a job. I don't owe you a conversation. I sure should. I'm not going to help you. You have an attorney that you're paying a lot of money to answer your questions. Bother him with it. You're starving me. And I have zero motive to help you because when you're gone, no more problems, no more drama, no more invasion of my privacy, and I will never be broke again. Zero motive to help you. Right now, everybody's sick of you. No one's helping you. They're helping us. We're getting help with the information you're getting told on. It's been that way for 10 years. So the more cruel you get to me, the results of that, the direct results of that are, gets us a lot of sensitive information that they got in the wrong hands. Okay? Is that what you wanted? That's what you've got. You got nothing else. 10 years of it. Not another thing. Don't send patrol over to tell her that. Because she's doing some stuff a patrol guy isn't going to do and doesn't know how to do. And you're going to piss her off. People like her that do the type of investigation she's doing don't like local cops. They get in the way more than they help. And I said that when I first got here, help her get out of my way. I have a job to do, I'm going to do it. No one's gotten as much information on your crime as we have. No one. not TPD. They didn't get the McNamara email. They didn't find out Mike was drugged. We did. We found out Mike Neely was drugged before anybody else said it. Months before. That wasn't TPD. We did that. I have gone through things a patrolman would not go through to get information no one else has. So he's not wrong. You do that and it will just piss me off. What's the restraining order for, Mr. Powell, that you're so desperate to get to me? Why are you guys in Oklahoma? I'm the one that has the tangible loss, not you. So what is there to restrain? But by all means, go put this on the docket so that competing mafia organizations can look at all the sensitive information that got into the wrong hands, and law enforcement from anywhere can look at it too. Now and forever. And compare notes. What's the MO? I've got a victim that the same thing in my jurisdiction. Same thing. Same MO. People are getting drugged. People are dying, and oh, it's suicide. Oh, it's natural causes. But there's no investigations to say William O. Ritchie of D.C. homicide. Why did Justice Scalia not get an investigation properly or protocol followed as he would have had he died in D.C.? Something's going on over there. Right when you guys plan to do this harassment thing, we're going to piss her off, get her talking about it, and then we'll go into court and say she's harassing us. We're going to lie. We're going to perpetrate that fraud on the highest court in the land. Justice Scalia is a First Amendment guy. Flag burning is a freedom of expression. It's legal, he said. If I'm king, I'd hang him, but I'm not king, and we have a constitution that says he can do that. Might be distasteful to the rest of us, but it's legal. Stupid but legal, he said. And you didn't like that. Because you needed your fraud to work, right? What ended up happening instead is sensitive. You piss everybody off, we get the information, not you. We say it, then we show you. Every fucking day. We get sensitive information, like your code words, like your people's names. Desiree, Blankenship, Beverly, who's worried about my shoes. Renee, Betancourt, Sanjay, Richard, Dickey. I've not met these people that I know of. Greg, Tim, Larry, Reuben, James, Andrew, Lawrence. Right? We find out Judy Parker's involved. We find out Judge Egan's involved. And she's not supposed to know there is an affidavit. I need Charles and Dave to get out of her pocket, out of her wallet, so that she can have the same place to live and I know where she is. And the same place to work and I know where she works. But Mr. Kunstwiller, I thank you for that. Really, I do. I'd like the same thing. Nothing I'd like. In fact, I texted Marcus Harper and asked him to ask you if I could work in your office part-time. And you didn't want that, but I would have been right there with you. You could ask me any question you wanted right there at work. But you got somebody else with a whole different plan working against you. You and Matt and Charles and Dave are not on the same page. You're on opposite pages. So whatever it is you're trying to do that seems, normal stuff, they're trying to do undermine that. Okay? Prove that wrong, Charles. Prove I'm lying and I know I'm lying. Okay? So now you got competing mafia organizations that think you guys are a bunch of little girls. Sue them for saying that, okay?
Fucking matter. You don't have the right to her, and you need to leave her alone. And this is bacon.
Oh, that's okay. I don't care.
Leave me alone.
All you want.
I don't want to pray for this. Please leave me alone.
Hey, men. Leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them. Especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to. But even when they're not, unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumbass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior. And you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her, and you need to leave her alone. And this is bacon.
Oh, that's okay. I don't care.
Leave me alone.
All you want.
I don't want to pray for this. Please leave me alone.
Hey, men. Leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them. Especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to. But even when they're not, unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumbass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior. And you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her. And you need to leave her alone. And this is Bacon.
That's okay. I don't care.